in this webinar. I know that you're quite a lot and you shared a lot of things during the first moments of this webinar. Just to introduce myself, as Angela already gave quite a bit of understanding of who I am, I will mention one detail that Angela, when she presented herself before, she said, like, well, I met everything of this almost 5 years ago. Hey, I learned the method when I was 5 years old. This is just a little detail, but at the same time makes you understand one thing, that in this case I was lucky enough to have been living my life in this precise way. All the values that are transmitted in Change Your Life by Filippo, in this case my dad, he told me everything of this. So now we got to a point that is really, really important. Most of you are here to understand something more. You have been questioning yourself about being more. If not, you would not be connected here now. So I'm sure that all of you have this kind of desire now, this kind of question. How can I live a life that is life with much more value, something that I feel maybe I'm not living at my full potential? Most of you already said this. So I truly believe that this is important, an important question. And well, now Angela introduced this, that we live our lives not at the fullest potential because of one reason. For example, now we're going to talk about one of the, we could say, 5 pillars that Change Your Life Leadership talks about, that teaches you about. In specific, you have to know that now, as Angela introduced us, maybe all of you know, we are talking about knowledge. And knowledge is power. Actually, how to turn knowledge into power. This is the turning point, how to make it become something more than just knowledge. Well, you have to know that we all have, we've never been explained how we truly function. And in this case, for example, talking about our mind, there is a big misunderstanding of how our mind works. Neuroscientists nowadays have been studying this, so they discovered, and what I'm talking about is not just words, it's some of the latest discoveries about our mind. They have understood finally that our mind can be divided into 2 main parts. You have to know the first part is called the rational mind. The second one is called intuitive mind. These are names that make you understand something more. Intuitive mind is also called in other different ways, such as subconscious or deep mind, something like that. We call it intuitive mind for one simple reason, because it is not actually true that is something that is subconscious, so that we can't access. Actually, we can access it. So what are we talking about really? In rational mind is the part that you use when you live completely your life, every day of your life. For example, now that you are listening to me, you are for sure using your rational mind to understand what I'm talking about, trying to compare different informations. For example, you now are listening to this, and if you have in your experience something that is similar to what I'm talking about now, well, you are now in a situation that is easier for you to understand what I'm speaking about. While for others, that maybe it's the first time they start thinking also about these things, it's maybe a bit difficult. Why? Because our rational mind needs something to compare to the new information. I see that Amani just said that the daughter explained about rational mind, intuitive mind. This is amazing. I love it so much when also maybe daughters, son of the people that maybe attend these kind of courses, so Change Your Life Kindle, then get back home and try to explain everything. It's amazing. So yes, this is our rational mind. You have to know that it is a limited container, okay? So it is not something with a lot of capabilities. Yes, we use it. We use it to study, we use it to learn, but at the same time, it is like a closed box, okay? While we have the other part inside of ourselves that is called intuitive mind. It is an unlimited container, something that really has no limits in terms of understanding, in terms of number of information that it can contain. I will just give you an example. For example, let's say that we now have in front of us a glass of water and we need to pour inside of the glass some more water. We start pouring water, but at a certain point, what happens is that the water starts overflowing that glass. This is what happens, for example, when you start studying something, you acquire the information, you understand it, but then after a time, you just forget about this information. Hey, with intuitive mind, this is no longer going to happen, because intuitive mind is an unlimited container, a place where everything can just be brought into it and everything will stay there. So your intuitive mind is much more powerful. If we only consider this, would be already something incredible. Just think at not forgetting anymore about what you study. This would be already something that is extraordinary. But what we're talking about is much, much more. So usually a concept that is mentioned by many different experts of this field of the mind and brain functionalities is that knowledge, so understanding how you function, is power. But actually it is not only, knowledge is not power by itself. Knowledge, yes, is something that will get you the opportunity of understanding many things, but knowledge becomes power when it gets connected, linked with intelligence. What is intelligence? This is a capability that usually people think it is not possible to train, that you can't become intelligent more than what you are, but it is not actually true. If you go and also study the etymology of this name, intelligence, you will discover that it is the capability of connecting different informations, different pieces of information, different topics. So intelligence is being able to connect the dots and create something new out of it. For example, all the biggest inventors, I'm just going to mention Leonardo da Vinci or Einstein or all the others, they have always made their discoveries how connecting the information that were already existing, so knowledge, and letting them become something new, an invention, through intelligence. And what we will do with Change Your Life Leadership, with the three-dimensional reading method, will be exactly this. Will be connecting your capability of acquiring information in a much faster way. Because just think at this, after a time of practice, where you need to do the things that we will explain you to do, of no more than 4 weeks, starting from an average point of view, starting point, you can get to an average speed of 200 pages, a fiction book I'm talking about, of course, in being able to read it in more or less 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. This is where you get. So now we're talking about novel fiction books, okay? But this can be applied also to scientific papers. This can be applied to policies. This can be applied to any different kind of documents that you need to study or read, researches, etc. So imagine being able to acquire all of this way faster. This is just one part of it. Then we have intelligence. So not only knowing things, but also connecting them. And so, in this way, becoming intelligent. So knowledge is power when it gets connected with the real capability that transforms your life, that it is intelligence. And intelligence is only possible when you start using intuitive mind. That part that manages completely your life, even though you are not aware of it. Now we have a little game, let's say, yes, a game that we wanted to propose you to play right now all together. It's really something easy. It's a video in this case that we will show you, I think 1.5 minutes long, no more. In this case, you will be during this exercise, you will be shown some images, okay, at the beginning, one after the other, really fast, okay. I ask you to try not to think. okay? So don't try to be like, okay, I need to memorize this. The goal is, now there will be some images shown at the beginning, then there will be couples of images, like some pairs of images, like one and the other, and you have, I think, like 2, 3, 5 seconds no more to guess what was the images that was shown to you at the beginning of the exercise, okay? Really easy to do, okay? So let's do this. You will now observe the true capabilities of your intuitive mind, okay? I'll let you watch the video. Let's go. Okay, there you go. So have you watched the video? Were you able to see it? I see that there was a comment from Mihai about where is the video. All the others, did you find it? Or maybe you got some like technical difficulties? Yes, watch the video. Okay, yes, no problem. Yes, okay, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, probably it was like in one of the other 2 pages, I think, of the Zoom connections. Perfect. So now the question is, how many, in a percentage, I mean, how many of the images that were shown to you, you were able to actually guess in the second part? So I'm saying like a percentage of them, not like 1, 2, 3, but out of them, like most of them. Okay, perfect. What about the others? How many of them? Like 80%. Amazing. This is a great result. 90 right, 90% right. Great. Most 90%. Oh wow. 3 wrong, rest good. 90 I haven't seen. 5, 6 images, maybe 2 wrong, but the rest was right. 80, 85% more. Wow, perfect. A lot of sharings. So also in this case, what we just now observed is the capability of your intuitive mind applied to something truly easy, such as a video. Okay, so what has happened during this video? What has happened is that in the first part, your intuitive mind elaborated and acquired all the images, okay, in a really fast way. Your rational mind can't do it, of course, just out of its own. So this is not the work of the rational mind. Then in the second part, when you were to guess the 2 of them, if you were able just to say this without thinking, probably really, and also seeing your comments, I see that you got like 80-90% correct. Really, because of this, you were not thinking, you were not using the rational mind, you were just guessing and guessing right. So what is your intuitive mind? It's the part that really governs your life, that make you live the life in a really better way, okay? So when we say that you can be whoever you want to be, we're not saying like, hey, let's imagine something, I want to become this, let's do it. We are saying that you can truly be whoever you want to be. I mean, you have a potential, you have inside of yourself something that it is so powerful that living the life in a limited way, as most of the time people that did not know this information, people that maybe struggled even just to read and remember the things right after reading, they don't experience this. While inside of yourself, you have a potential that it is really not even something that you can compare to others. Okay, so how can you get to this point? How can you truly get in contact with the intuitive mind? Well, in this case, there is the method of the 3D reading. In this case, it's really a process. It's something that has been studied for more than 20 years by Filippo, and it's now a method that has been taught to, I would say, thousands of people all over Europe. And it's just a procedure that you need to understand, and you need to understand, first of all, how you truly function, okay? This is really the starting point, okay? What I would suggest for you now is asking yourself this question. Am I truly like saying, well, this is the life I have, I'm perfectly happy with it and I want to improve nothing, and I think that I'm happy with it? If this is the case, I have a really incredible suggestion for yourself. Stop here watching me explaining things, and Angela, thank you so much for being here tonight. This is not for you. You're wasting your time, because you can become a way more powerful person, way more capable person, but you need to make the choice to change something in your life. You need to make the choice of not keeping doing the same things all over again, continuously. You do the same things, you repeat them, you repeat them, you repeat them, but not because you want to repeat them, but because you live out of patterns. You live out of something that is mechanical. No one explained to you how you truly function. So you're living this. But you can be truly a person that is free to become whoever you want to be. Just one little thing, and then I will let you again stay and spend time with Angela. She will explain everything in detail about what we're talking about and the Change Your Life leadership. Just know that in these exact days, we are now in the 9th week of Change Your Life Kindle of this summer in Italy. I mean, in the same time, we are also doing it in Spain. I am in the center in Italy. Just know that today, Thursday, during the full part of the morning, so from 9 a.m. to, I would say, 12:30, we have been talking with the kids that are participating to this week about freedom, the freedom of becoming whoever they want to be. And they understood it, that they are not what school tells them they are. They are not what others tell them that they can be. They can be whoever they want to be, and it is the same for you. So everything starts from the conscious choice of starting to do something new, changing something in your life. And this is your opportunity to do so. So thank you so much. Again, I hope to see you in class in the next course that we will have, or in any way, I hope that you will start changing something in your life and live it in a better way, as I'm sure that you can do. Thank you so much again, and I leave the floor to Angela. Bye.
Here we are. Thank you.